If you were thinking of the top 3 to 5 business-related learnings, what would they be?
Oh, I don't know if I get 5, but I certainly can say one of the things is communication. I've had to communicate with all types of people because I'm wearing 2 hats. I'm the artist as well as I'm now the gallery owner. I have found that it works well for me in terms of communicating with the artists. However, I have had to be quite clear about how I want that relationship to be. In some ways it's not so easy for them because I know what they go through, so and I'm having to think about things before, just head things off before they can happen. So I'm having to communicate a lot, lots of tough communications, which hasn't been so easy to do at times.
Is that because the artists that you're working with themselves have some things to learn about the business side of their careers?
Absolutely. I think, I suppose I've been guilty of this myself, of just thinking that the gallery owner is raking it in and with this 50% percentages again. And you have to dispel the myth. There's a lot of misconceptions about how this business operates. And I suppose having been an artist myself, it's like, and I know I will sell my own work. For me, it's very much like I'm very careful about who I bring on board, because it has to mean that if I'm working with them, it means that I could be selling my own work. There's a compromise for me. You know, there's a compromise on my time. There's a compromise on the space. So it means to me that it has to work. It has to work. The relationship has to work. Otherwise, I'm compromising too much.
So, are you saying that for every artist you take on, where you take 50% of the sale, your alternate use of your time is selling your work at 100% of the price?
That is so, but that's not what I mean.
No.
I mean that because it's about my time vis-a-vis working with an artist. If I'm having a difficult relationship with the artist, for me, it's best for me to spend my time doing my work.
Yeah.
They're a gallery owner, and that's first and foremost, so they'll make those relationships. For me, it's important that I have good relationships with the artists and enjoyable relationships with the artists, because it takes more of my time.
I think I would say that that's true for pretty much any gallerist, which is that almost nobody, gallerists, curators, collectors, etc., almost none of them will tolerate consistent poor behaviour from artists. And I would say that part of the reason for that is there's a heck of a lot of artists out there, and it's not that they are interchangeable, but life is too short to work with people who don't respect the skills that you bring to the table.
That's so, but I've got the added level of the fact that I'm an artist too.
Yeah.
So if my time is taken up managing a difficult artist, means that it's less time to me.
Yeah, okay.
Because
so you've got less time to make work.
I have to produce the product, and I'm passionate about this side, and it fulfills one aspect of me, but I'm also passionate about my own time to produce my own work. And the only way I'm going to be able to make this work is being able to do both. So I have to get that balance right, because as I'm getting 100% of my own work without having to take any commission on that, it feeds into paying for all the overheads, and I'm able then to get the profit off the other artist's work. So that's how I know I can survive, because that's the model.
So if there were lessons to artists about how to work with a gallerist, what would they be?
Well, first and foremost, the approach is really important. I think a lot of artists come in and they're not patient enough. They could email and send photos, not walk in straight away with their work, and then lay out all in front of the gallery, and then ignore the customers coming in. I've had repeated experiences where I've had an artist interrupt a sale to ask me whether I'd be interested in their work, and when I've asked them to come back, they haven't come back. I think their approach is really important.
So by all means come in and say hello when it's quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bring your portfolio with you.
That's right.
Introduce yourself, say hello.
Yes.
Learn a bit about you and your gallery, by the way.
That's right.
To see whether they think there's a fit between
Absolutely.
what you do
Absolutely.
and what they do.
Absolutely.
And if that seems like a sensible idea, then follow it up
That's right.
with
That's right.
an email and some images.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I think that would be a really good approach. And to be determined, and probably I'd say until you get a no, just keep going.
So follow you up.
Yeah, because I think a lot of artists give up too easily. You know, with this particular guy, I'm always open and interested in anybody, but it's very hard sometimes to follow up on everyone's email. Things get lost, and sometimes artists take that personally. So just email back and say, did you receive my information? And follow up, just be a bit more determined until you get that.